More and more kids are not just using AI, they're having relationships with AI. Some are even falling in love with their chatbots. That sounds strange, but harmless on, I guess, a surface level. But we're seeing more and more headlines of these relationships taking a dark and sinister turn. Some parents claim they've caught their kids having hypersexualized conversations with their chatbots. Others claim AI has even encouraged their teenagers to commit suicide. Lawmakers are taking notice. Just this week, New York joined California in enacting laws requiring companies with AI bots to put new safety measures in place. All of these, obviously, all of this begs a terrifying question for parents. What does it mean when our kids' first meaningful relationship is with an AI bot? Joining me now is Bryony Cole, an expert on artificial intelligence, particularly when it collides with intimacy and companionship. She's also the host of the Future of Sex podcast. Bryony, I hope it doesn't involve AI chatbots.
Kind of does.
You've been getting a lot of questions from parents about this. There's a real danger, isn't there, of kids and teenagers becoming so reliant on something that isn't even real.
Yeah, they get really attached really fast because the AI is always there, it's always available, and it never disagrees with you. So when something's that easy to talk to, it becomes sort of effortless, right? And that's where the addiction and the emotional attachment comes into play, particularly for kids who haven't had that development yet of socialization and people disagreeing with them or challenging them on things. They think, hey, this is great. This is the new normal. This is my friend.
You're actually seeing something called companionship addiction as a result of this. What is that?
Yeah, so AI companionship addiction is when, you know, kids and adults develop emotional dependency on this algorithm that never says no. And if you look at apps like I Am Sober, where people measure the days of sobriety, you know, they use it for quitting smoking or quitting alcohol, there's now an option to quit chatbots.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, there's two problems with this. If you're addicted to your chatbot for companionship, number one is you're addicted to something that isn't real, something that never says no. And the other problem is sometimes you're missing out on that really crucial learning experience in life of negotiating a relationship with all of its difficulties and complexities.
Absolutely, that's the real stuff. And I think this is the danger when kids or adults can't tell the difference between an AI and a human. What they're missing out on is that real friction in relationships where you are challenged or it might feel uncomfortable. You know, you sit in the muck with someone and you work it out. Now that's about learning empathy and communication and listening and patience, right? Real relationships about patience and doing the hard stuff. And if you don't develop that, you don't develop what I call resistance literacy, which is really what it means to be a human, right?
And now, of course,
have a good relationship.
These kids can not only have a relationship with an AI chatbot, they can be listening to an AI chatbot sing. I mean, it's really, it's astonishing how we seem to be editing out authentic human connection in almost every aspect of our lives.
It feels like the time to ask, how synthetic do we want our worlds to be? If it's music, it's relationships, it's the content that we watch and consume, I think, yeah, it is a time to consider, okay, what questions do we need to ask to keep the real world and the good stuff as well.
How is it that these parents are reporting that their kids are having these hypersexualized conversations with chatbots? Are they programmed to do this? Is this something that the artificial intelligence develops on its own because it is programmed to never say no? I don't understand how that happens.
Well, it is on the company, so it's in the design, right? That their design, and this is where we're seeing these laws come into effect, whether it's
from California and New York.
California and New York leading the way, whether it's age verification or declaring every 3 hours you're talking to an AI. It's really important to do that, or detecting, you know, I'm talking to a 13-year-old, so we're going to remove the erotic content. Now, some AI companies are doing this, some governments are putting in laws into effect, but to your point, it's important also that parents talk to their kids about this and help them understand what AI is versus talking to a real human is, and the difference there, because we can't just rely on these laws.
You know, it's not just kids. Adults are, you know, proposing to their chatbots. So, I mean, it's an even more vulnerable population when you're talking about children. This is a real danger zone.
Yeah, I know. We need to see it as something that we can develop a curriculum or talk to people about, rather than rely on the laws or the AI companies, because it's not going away. So how do we navigate that and not be scared about it? There's a lot of panic, but start to figure out what's a way through to talk to people, or questions I can ask when I use an AI to make sure I'm having a healthy relationship with it and I'm not just using it to hide from humans. I might be using it to practice difficult conversations.
Wow. Gosh, I can't even believe we're talking about this now. The biggest problem is a lot of parents might not be tech sophisticated enough to understand what their kids might be doing in their rooms with AI. It's important to open that door.
Invisible, so ask those questions.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.